Hi there, welcome to a new session of your mathematics class. In this class, we are going to learn the third chapter of our mathematics textbook named Coordinate Geometry. This one is a small chapter as compared to other chapters, but the importance of this chapter is so big. Because once you go into higher classes, the applications of this particular chapter is plenty. Because this chapter will make you understand how algebraic equations and coordinate geometry are related, or in fact how algebraic problems can be solved using coordinate geometry. So this is the beginning of a new era, a kind of we can compare to that way. So listen very carefully, each and every terms. This is the basic, in this class we will learn the basic terms of this particular coordinate geometry or a system or a branch of mathematics. So listen very carefully. First we should know, or first we will recollect the idea that we have learned in our chapter number system. We have learned number line from the chapter, right? How does a number line look? Let's see. So this is how a number line look like. There will be a point at the center, or we can say a starting point, and from there points are marked at equal intervals. So distance from this point to the point 1 is 1 unit and towards 2 is 2 units, and after each point the next point is written within the gap of 1 point, and the starting point or the point from which all the numbers begin is called as origin. And how this number line is important? Now for example, if I say where's the point 5 in the number line, then you will immediately choose the point over here. Where is it? 5. There is no doubt, because the place of that point is fixed there. It's not going to change in this number line. In the same way, we can find or we can mark any point on this number line. That's the importance of number line. We have seen that what is a number line and how it helps us to mark or determine a point in the number line. Now let's see what is the definition or what's the meaning of this chapter. That is what is meant by coordinate geometry. It is a branch of mathematics in which geometric problems are solved through algebra using the coordinate system. The definition may seem a bit confusing, but it's simple. We use this branch of mathematics to solve problems, geometric problems. That is, if you are given triangles or any solids, we can make that into graphical representation and then we can solve using algebra. This definition can be revisited by us after this chapter is over. Then you will understand what is meant by this definition. So keep it there. We will come back. Now let's see. There is an unknown term here. We'll read the definition once again. Branch of mathematics in which geometric problems are solved through algebra using the coordinate system. So geometric problems, it can be any problem, we solve it using algebra. We have learned algebra, but this one seems to be a new term for you. What's it? Coordinate system. Now let's see what are coordinate system. What's the definition of coordinate system? A system that uses one or more coordinate, or you can say here as number line, to determine the position of points or other geometric elements. I will say in a simple word, that is, in this case we have determined the point where 5 is located on the number line, right? Yes. This is an example for a coordinate. This is an example for coordinate. The number line is the simplest coordinate. Now as we move further, we will be able to mark figures also, that is triangles, squares in a plane. The basic thing is that we can mark the points in the number line, that is specifically said to determine the position of points. This is what we have done now. Now in the next definition or in the next session, we will be able to determine the position of other geometric elements. So let's move on to that. Before saying the definition, let's remember the famous French mathematician René Descartes, who was the father of this coordinate geometry. It was him who introduced the idea of coordinate geometry. Let's see what was that. Just as we said, René Descartes, the greatest French mathematician who lived in the 17th century, brought up an idea of determining a point in a plane. So far we have just seen how we can determine a position or the position of a point in a line. What he did is that he created or took two number lines and kept it vertically, and he tried to determine the position of a point in that plane. To put these things together, the basic idea that we should possess is that we should take two number lines and a duplicate of the number line that we have just seen. What additional information is that this number line should be kept perpendicular to the one that is existing. Let's try to draw the figure. You can see in the board that this is how a Cartesian system is drawn. This was, as I told earlier, this was invented by or created by the French mathematician René Descartes. With this regard, that's the reason why we have put it is given the name as Cartesian system. Now what has he done? He has actually took two number lines and let's name it. This is the name numerology, don't forget this one. This one you can see it's already a number line starting from, this is the starting point. We call it as origin, just as we did in the number line itself. We can mark this point as O. Now, as the number line is normally occurring, it moves from 0 to number infinitely and from center to left also infinitely. Now, we can name this line as x dash. So, this is the number line is called as x o x dash or x dash o x. Now, in the same way, we can name the other number line as y o y dash. Now, let's see the characteristics of a Cartesian system. What are they? First of all, we can understand that, first we need to learn that this point is called the origin. This is called origin of the Cartesian system. The next point is that the directions, you can see from O, four directions are occurring. OX, OY, OX dash, OY dash. In this one, OX contains only positive numbers, right? Starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. All numbers are positive. Same is the case with OY. 0, 1, 2, 3, all the numbers are positive. So we can write positive lines as OX and OY. What about the remaining two lines OX dash? All numbers are negative. 0, after 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, all are zeros. Then what about the fourth line? 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, etc. They are also negative. So we can say OX dash and OY dash are negative lines, or it is called as positive direction. It's called as positive direction, and this one as negative direction. So that's the basic thing. Now let's see more definitions and terms in this coordinate system. Let's see more definitions of Cartesian plane. First, we can call this line. This one is called x-axis, and the other one, or the vertical one, as y-axis. I think we have already learned that while you are drawing graphs in statistics, you would have come through this xy plane. Now let's name it again. This one is called the x-axis, and the horizontal line is called x-axis, and vertical line is called y-axis. To be more precise, we can call this axis as positive x-axis, negative x-axis. From the 0 to x dash or to x dash we can call negative x-axis. Then 0 to this positive direction we can call as positive y-axis. Then what about here? Negative y-axis. And one more thing is that these four lines, they are called axes. Axis. One word will be pronounced as axis, and its plural form is axis. So we can call four axes. What this four axis does is that it will divide this whole plane into four equal quadrants. What's it? Quadrant. Quadrant. These are very basic terms, so understand it now itself. So in the order wise, we will call this as the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. So I am going to name it as first quadrant, second quadrant, I am not going to write it completely, just understand, third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. So this axis will divide the whole plane into 4 equal parts called as quadrant. We have to take it in the anti-clockwise direction. That's why it is given this name. So that's it. Now next important thing is that this particular system is, or this two axes are called as xy plane, Cartesian plane or coordinate plane. So three are same, xy plane, then Cartesian plane, or you can say coordinate plane. All are the definitions or terms that we use to describe this x and y axis. I hope you understood. These are all basic things. Now let's move on to the next session. How to mark a point or how to determine a point in a plane. That's the most important part of this lesson. Now we move on to the most important part of this chapter, marking a point in a plane. So we have a plane with us. This one is the x axis and this one is the y axis. I repeat, the horizontal number line is called the x axis and the vertical line is called the y axis. If we are given any point P, just like we did represented the number 5 in a number line, here the numbers will be set in ordered pair. We just saw what's an ordered pair. So if you have any doubt, please go back and see what's an ordered pair and make sure you understood it completely. Now I am going to mark a point P and its points coordinates will be, listen the term coordinate, we will see the definition of that. The coordinate of P, if it is A and B, if it is A and B, then what does that mean? This one is called x, okay, this ordered pair is called coordinate of the point P. Ordered pair AB is called coordinates of point P. Specifically, let's see precisely, we have two numbers or two representations in which A and B is there. A is called the x coordinate or axis A. A is called x coordinate or it's called as axis A, and B is called y coordinate or ordinate. You can learn any one of the names in that one. Now let's see what does that mean. A means x coordinate. It is the distance of the point P from the on the x axis. On the x axis, that is how long it traveled in this line or how far is it. Suppose this point A, I am going to draw a line through here. This is the point. So this point P is this much distance. This much distance from the origin, right? Yes. That's why it is called, or it's written over here as the first coordinate. Now similarly, what does the B letter means? B means the distance from origin to that point P through the y axis is B units. Just as it is the distance from origin to the point P is A units, the distance from origin to the point P through y axis is B units. If this idea is not so clear, we will use examples to demonstrate this one, then it will be very clear. So all we need to do is to understand the definition of what does P and A and B means. P is a point and A and B is its coordinates. A specifically saying A is the x coordinate or it's called as axis A, and B is called y coordinate or ordinate. Now let's see a practical example of this one. Let us see an example of how to mark the point in a plane. Suppose you are given a point P with coordinates 3 and 2. What does it mean? It means it has got x coordinate 3 and y coordinate 2. Before saying this one, let's see some basic concepts. This one is called the origin. As we have already seen, this point is called origin, and the coordinates of the origin is 0, 0. What does that mean? The unit from, or the distance from the center to this point, is there any distance? No, it is 0. So we have got it as 0 and 0. Now let's see the example of P. The distance from the origin to this point P through x-axis, that is what we write as the x coordinate. It is 3. For knowing that, all we need to do is to draw a line perpendicular to the axis. I am going to do the same. You can see, first I will draw a line to the x-axis. Where is it locating? It is at 3. So that means this point P is 3 units from the center through x-axis. Now let's see the other way. What does it mean by saying that the y coordinate of the point is 2? It means it is 2 units above from the origin, or the distance from origin to this point through y-axis is 2 units. I hope this is clear. To understand this, we can draw a line towards the y-axis. You can see it touches at 2. Now, one more important property is that we will see another point. Suppose a point is given like this one. Let's name it as Q. First, you are asked to say what are the coordinates of Q. How will you do this one? First, we can draw a line downwards to the x-axis and just see where is it meeting. Where is it? At the point 3. So x coordinate of this point is -3. Now to find the y coordinate, draw a line towards the y-axis. You can see, where is it going? It is going towards 4. So we can write the coordinates of Q is -3, 4. I hope you understood. Now let's see another point. Let it be like this. Let's name it as R. Now, what will be the coordinates of R? First, we need to find the x coordinate. So we will see where the point coincides in the x-axis. If we draw a line like this, it's going towards 2. So, is it positive 2? No, it's negative 2. So, I'm going to write -2. Then, what about in the y-axis? You can draw like this. It's 5. Is it positive 5? No, it's negative 5. So, we can write the coordinates of R as -2, -5. Here, the x coordinate is -2 and y coordinate is -5. I hope you understood. Now, let's see one more point. This is the point in the 4th quadrant, right? This one is 3rd quadrant, 2nd quadrant, 1st quadrant, and this one is our 4th quadrant. Now let's take a point like this. Let's name it as S. And if I say what are the coordinates of S, how will you find? We will draw a line. First we will draw a line towards x-axis. Let's see where it goes. Is going towards 4. Is it -4 or +4? It's +4. So we'll write the x coordinate as 4. Now, what about the y coordinate? We'll draw a line towards y-axis. You can see it's meeting at -4. So we'll see the coordinates of S is 4, -4. This is the concept, and you might have noticed one thing is that how will you write this one? We'll say the coordinates of point P is 3, 2. The coordinates of point Q is -3, 4. The coordinates of R is -2, -5. The coordinates of S is 4, -4. There is a speciality in the ordered pair in each quadrant. Let's find it out. You can see In the first quadrant, both x coordinate and y coordinate will be positive. That is, we will use a general formula. We can say both x coordinate and y coordinate will be positive in first quadrant. What about the second quadrant? If you take any point here, all the x coordinate will be 0 and y coordinate will be positive. So we can write negative and positive. What about the third quadrant? You can see the x coordinate will be 0 always, and so will be the y coordinate. We can see an example here itself, -2, -5. So we can say negative, negative. Then in the fourth quadrant, the x coordinate will be positive and y coordinate will be negative. You can see x coordinate is positive, y coordinate is negative. So what's the formula? Plus, minus. Why is it important is that in the examination you will be given just a point. For example, you will be given 7, -2, and you will be asked in which quadrant does it fall, or in which quadrant will this point be located. Which quadrant it will be? It's positive and negative. Which quadrant? Is it first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant? Yes, it is in the fourth quadrant. So we can say 7, -2 will be in the fourth quadrant. Now one more thing is left is that how to mark point or how to determine the point if points are given like this. That is left that's the only portion left in this chapter. Rest all is covered. Now you can try to do exercise 3.1 and 3.2 by yourself. It's very easy, and we will see how to do or how to mark the point in a Cartesian plane or in an xy plane if the ordered pair or the points are just given to us. So far what we have done or we have located we have seen the points. When the points are given, we just saw or verified, okay, this is here and this is supposed to be here. That's all. We have not done any new things. In the next class we will locate the points if the points are given to us. So let's see that in our next video. Thank you.